Hello, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of How Do I Do This Anyways? Today, what we're going to be looking at is making dimensioned drawings of items that you have already drafted in Inventor. So, you're going to make this from that. All right, so I'm going to walk you through doing ISO number 11. So that way it shows you all the tools, and then you can go ahead and do the other ones on your own with those skills. So, first thing we're going to do is go File, New, and we are going to come down here to an ANSI inch DWG file. Okay, it should, if you single click it, it looks like that. We're going to create that. Okay, and then lo and behold, it pops up like this. Now, the nice thing about this sheet is that it's enormous. So if you have a very large object and you have, a lot of detail you need to show, this is the sheet for you. However, we have this problem where we actually don't have a size D printer because this is actually 24 inches tall and 36 inches wide. So we're going to go ahead and customize that. And instead of doing that 22 inches, we're going to change that slightly. I'm going to go ahead and have this thing be laid out portrait wise. And so I'm going to make that 9 inches tall, and I'm going to make this 7 inches wide. And that way it fits nicely into our engineering notebook. And I'm going to have that laid out portrait wise. Okay. And I'm going to click OK. And now what you're going to see is that the title block doesn't fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that title block, and I'm just going to right click it and delete it. Okay. I'm going to leave the border because I want to make sure that my drawing is actually framed by it. Now I want to left click on my drawing resources button, the plus sign, and come here into title blocks. I'm going to click the plus sign again. And I'm going to double click ANSI A to drop a new ANSI size A paper title block in there. And it should populate automatically with some interesting facts. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and place the base view of our object. Now, I had this one open. So it assumes that if you have a part that's completed and you've saved it recently and you go to start a drawing, that you are going to want to start a drawing of that thing. That may or may not be correct. So in order to actually find it, you have to click here to open an existing file, and then you have to select which one that you actually want to select after you've gone through and navigated to find it. Okay, but I am going to do ISO number 11. Now, in this little thing, you can see a bunch of things. There's some options. You can show hidden lines or you can not show hidden lines. You can have them removed. You can have it be shaded. Don't have it be shaded. You can also change the scale. You can make it larger to take up more of your paper. You can make it smaller. I'm going to go ahead and make it a 1/5 scale because I know that's going to fit nicely on this piece of paper. Okay. And then I'm just going to click OK to drop that drawing there. All right. And you can go ahead and click and drag it as long as you have that little icon with the 4 arrows going to the corners illuminated. You can go ahead and click and drag that thing. Now I'm going to go ahead and click some projected views off of my based view. So by projected, I do mean it's going to take this alignment that we got here, and it's going to allow me to just drop it like it's a view from that side, and then drop it like it's a top view. And then I can come over here and I can drop it right here for my isometric. Now, I've got those 3 green boxes illuminated. I'm going to right click right now and just click create in order to actually drop all 3 of those in there. And as you can see, there's the hidden lines in there that show the features that are not visible from that view, but you should be including. Now's the time to actually get down to business as far as dimensioning is concerned. I'm going to come over here to my Annotate tab. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to notice that I have some features in here that I need to put my center lines in. So I'm going to come up here to my center line marking tool and click that. So that way I can mark my center lines. And the way you mark them is literally all you have to do is hover on it. So that way it pops up that line in red, and then click on that line. It'll mark your center line for you. Okay. And you just go ahead and do that for all of those that you can see that circle profile on. Now, if you have a different one like this one, and this one, I need to mark the center lines for that as well. So I'm going to come up with this center line bisector tool. And I'm going to go ahead and select that line, and I'm going to select that line. And boom, it put that bisecting center line in there. And I'm going to do the same thing here and here. Okay. Now, I'm putting those down in there because those are completely round features. I can do this here as well because I know that it shows up in exactly the center. But we're not going to dimension to those. You never dimension to hidden lines here like that, or these center lines that are here, but we just need to show that that's a center line to indicate that it's a curve. The next thing we actually need to do is actually start dropping some dimensions on here. So I'm just going to click my dimension tool. And this is your overall does it all tool for listing dimensions. Okay. So I'm going to do datum dimensioning here, which means I'm going to measure everything relative to this point right here on the drawing. So that means I'm going to click here and then click over here and then drag down, and it pops up with the dimension. Now, when you have this thing pop up, it's got all kinds of values and all kinds of things that are possible for you to put in there. We'll worry about those later. See, right now, the document, it says that it's in inches. So therefore, that 11 that it says that it is in inches, and that is perfectly fine. So I'm going to keep using my dimension tool, and I'm going to just make sure that I'm dimensioning all of the different things. And you see how it automatically has them being or unilateral, and it automatically places them where they can be easily read. That's one of the reasons I love Inventor so much, is because it does so much for you. All right. Now, there's a couple of rules of thumb that I need to make sure that you understand on this. First off, do not dimension to a hidden line. So, like, I can't dimension to this center line that's over here, but I can dimension to it right here. So I can click here and go to there and then drag that up to here. Okay. That's acceptable, but I can't dimension it in this view. I can dimension this dimension here, but I can't do that other one. I can't do this one up here. Okay. But also, you shouldn't be doing this one because that would over constrain that. All right. Now, if you want to move or drop a dimension after you've placed it, you need to hit escape to drop your dimension tool. Click on it, and you can drag it around, move it, and you can also go ahead and delete it by right-clicking or just clicking the delete button. So another thing that we should make sure we do is we need to make sure that we are noting our radii and our diameters. So in order to get our curves, you literally just have to click on the surface of the curve you want to dimension. And you see how it has our extension line or our leader line here already pointed to that curve. And then we want to do our diameter of the center. Boom, it's there. So all of these tools are available to you. And this is one of the reasons that we don't spend a lot of time dimensioning things by hand, is because it takes such a long time to do it by hand. But here, to do it by CAD is very quick. So what you need to do is you need to take your time and fully dimension this thing. I'm only missing, nope, that does that. I think that's about covers it. Nope. Let's go ahead and do from the front to the back. Yeah, that's about all. So if you have any questions, go ahead and let me know. Otherwise, hopefully this helped you out. Now, an important part, file. You need to go ahead and save this thing. We're going to click save because I haven't saved this thing before. and it's going to pop up with originally the file name that you started out with. So it's going to take the part name and turn that into a DWG file. So I'm going to call this C because, or number 3, version 3, because this is the third time I've been playing with this. And I'm going to click save. Okay. And it's going to say, hey, you need to save some other stuff. And I'm going to say yes to all. And then I'm going to click OK. And it's going to save the whole document. Okay. Now, the next important part is how to print. Okay. So we got to click File, and we're going to export this as a PDF. Okay. Now, it automatically populates with the file name from the drawing and then changes the file type to PDF. We want that. And we're going to click Save. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually investigate that. So I'm going to come back to here, ISO 3, it's a PDF. Double click it. I'm going to open it. And now I've got this thing here, which is exactly what I wanted to print. Now, the key to doing this and getting it correct is that those sizes that we specified, the document of 7 by 9, was so that way we could cut off the excess paper and have it fit nicely in your engineering notebook. So that means that if you click this fit thing, it's going to magnify it. It's going to take up the whole thing. Make sure you are clicking the actual size. And that's going to leave some blank space all the way around. And that should give us enough blank space to actually print the whole thing out. And then you just need to print it out. Either you can save this as an Adobe PDF again, and then, or you can just click print. Where is it? Xerox monochrome. Okay. If you go to Xerox monochrome, it should spit out at one of our copiers at Turpin. So that's all I have for you. Hopefully this helped you out. If you are going to upload digital copies of these to an assignment, I do want the PDFs. I do not want the drawing files. And otherwise, put it in your engineering notebook. Hopefully this helps you. Have a great day.